So just as everyone's kind of rolling in, I want to welcome everyone here today. I'm so excited to be here on the Zoom. My name is Christina, by the way, and I'm on the funding and outreach team at Stardust. And right now I'm actually joining from Montreal in Canada. And I'm going to be your moderator today. So you'll be seeing a little bit of me. I'm really glad that we were able to have this event today, even though it would be way preferable to see everyone in person. Like, we can bring in people from all over the world, which is really awesome. We have our impact entrepreneurs, we have our impact investors, and the whole Stardust community here today. So we're really glad that everyone was able to join, and you're all really important to our mission of helping to support these impact entrepreneurs. And I think that you'll see that how important these projects are over the presentations today. And so I just want to introduce who else is here from Stardust. So we have Jean and Camille, who are the Stardust co-creators. They're giving you a little wave. They're going to be speaking with us shortly. So Jean is actually in Morehead City, North Carolina, and Camille is in Lyon, France. And we also have Natasha, who's also on the funding and outreach team with me, and she's joining from Washington, D.C. And then we also have Safana and Colin, who are writers at Stardust. And Safana's in Virginia, and Colin is actually in Ireland. First up, we're going to be talking about Tigoun. And we're also going to be talking about our new Democratizing Impact report, which is a really cool development out of Stardust.
Well, as one of the co-creators, as the managing director, and as the board chair for Stardust, I am excited to be able to give you a little bit of background about who we are, what we do, and why we're doing it. There's never been a more energized and exciting time for impact investors to make positive social and environmental change. And there's never been a more important time for impact entrepreneurs to create startups. People worldwide are looking for ways to take action. They're hungry for opportunities to make the world a better place and are seeking workable solutions. Since 2015, Stardust Startups has been awarding recoverable micro grants to emerging entrepreneurs with the primary purpose of helping them succeed. Over time, we can say that the emerging entrepreneurs get not only the financial support in the form of $2,000 micro grants, which they can use for tangible aspects of their project, whether it's building materials or setting up their website or working toward the sustainable development goals, but they're getting the inspiration, the feeling of confidence, the credibility, and the encouragement that goes along with that. It is wonderful that right now Stardust Startups is working with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, impact entrepreneurs, and impact investors to find common ground. We are just delighted to be able to be this vehicle, because truly the degree to which Stardust as an entrepreneurial support organization, bringing in, finding, vetting, and working with the early stage entrepreneurs, we are also a donor advised fund. So we're truly a partnership vehicle. And within that vehicle, we get to do a lot of different things. So not only have we provided over $42,000 and funded 25 projects to date, we're growing our impact portfolio again this year, and we're thrilled to be able to highlight some of those projects for you. I will say, if making a positive social impact is about developing healthy communities. In this time of climate change and the number of unknowns that are facing us, the need to be resilient and the need to reimagine the possible is tied to the flexibility and agility of entrepreneurship. So we're here to help with that. And we're here as a donor advised fund, working with impact entrepreneurs and impact investors to not only bring to the party their projects, but to see how can working with mental and physical health, environmental security, and learning be this beautifully complex, interconnected way to make change happen. We know that our vision and our why is massive. We want to make the world a better place. We want to make sure that we as humans can continue to live on the world. And you know what? We're doing it with very modest solutions. $2,000 micro grants are just a drop in the bucket of what's really needed worldwide for everything. But you know, it's just like the kid who saves one starfish at the beach at a time. Every star that we put into the sky with our micro grants is significant and important. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of Stardust. As we build and nurture and grow this community, I'm excited to see the ways that it continues to improve. And now, Camille, I'll turn it over to you to talk about Tigoun.
Thank you. That was absolutely beautiful. I love hearing about Stardust in your words always. Thank you. So I'm going to be talking about each project individually. And this is so exciting because each project is so unique and innovative in its own way. And they're all in our current 2021 funding portfolio. So our first one is Tigoun. On the right-hand side, you'll notice these SDGs, and what that means is UN Sustainable Development Goals. And like Jean said, they're a super, super important aspect of what we do, criteria that we added on in 2020 to our selected projects, and looking at how they evaluate their role and impact in reaching these goals that the UN has set for the world. In fact, Tigoun has identified 8 of them. So we have no poverty, zero hunger, etc. And you can read on the screen, and you can also read on our website. Tigoun is a startup that has invented and started distributing the first long conservation bag for sub-Saharan African farmers that is both efficient and ecological. So the founders, Enki, Emmeline, and Tiana, aim to foster the emergence of a new food security model in which development of individuals and environmental protection are in complete synergy. So let's go over the problems that they're tackling with this long conservation bag. So post-harvest losses during the storage of agricultural products are a major global challenge for food security, particularly in developing countries. And these losses hit agricultural households the hardest. As you all probably know, there are many, many, many malnutrition cases in sub-Saharan Africa, and as many as 230 million to this day. And actually about 1/5 of those cases, which is 48 million, could be eradicated by reducing post-grain harvest losses. So each year, sub-Saharan African farmers lose about $4 billion in post-harvest losses. And current storage bags for these grains and harvests are made of plastic and this woven polypropylene material, which is an oil-based and non-biodegradable. It's harmful to the environment and disintegrates into microplastics, contaminating the food that will later be ingested. The loss rate of plastic bags used today can reach up to 50% due to insects and moisture. And to get rid of insects and moisture, insecticide powders and fumigation are dangerous, expensive, and mostly inefficient techniques. So what did Tigoun invent in order to tackle these problems? Thanks to the ultra oxygen tight technology in this bag, insects, including eggs and larvae, die of asphyxiation, and there is no need to pre-evacuate or add chemicals. So the bag is efficient against insects, moisture, mold, preservation, and it's sustainable. The materials of the Tigoun bag have been chosen for their water vapor barrier properties. So the food is protected from ambient humidity and remains dry, which prevents the development of mold. So the quality of food is also protective. The Tigoun bag is helping conservation, which is helping food security, which will allow sub-Saharan African farmers to sell their food at higher prices. Our $2,000 grant is actually going to produce and ship more than 1,000 new bags from Paris all the way to their warehouse in Madagascar. And so those are the bags. And they're actually currently supported by several incubators, accelerators, and have won a few social entrepreneurship contests, and also are in our 2021 funding portfolio. So we're thrilled. And here are a few photos from Madagascar, which is where their pilot project and their warehouse and where they're currently headquartered. So you can see what the bags look like. And it's all around a, like I said, efficient, sustainable, and a really, really cool invention.
As far as the Givenar work today is concerned, what we're really wanting to do is give you the opportunity to make an impact with Tigoun. Should you be interested in African projects or this type of environmental sustainability? You know, Inke he has that spark. He knows what the UN Sustainable Development Goals are working toward. It's going to require leveraging experience and expertise. It's going to require finding the funds to make things work. And, you know, we can move together and expand our resolve and our reach by working with startup entrepreneurs like Inke. I'm going to talk to you periodically during our work time today on some of the different impact levels that you could consider for being an impact investor, because you know what? The amount of money is really irrelevant. It's the intent and it's the drive that you have. And it's this understanding that the financial capital is only one tiny part of the bigger picture. So if you wanted to come in as an impact investor today under $1,000 at any contribution amount that you want to make, you will have the ability to choose which of our specific active funding portfolio projects you'd like to put your money toward, or you can direct your money toward a focus area, mental and physical health, environmental sustainability, or learning. And you can also select to give us the funds for use in a non-restrictive way. In any way that you decide to participate, we really appreciate it. And these projects are going to thrive because of all the types of support that our community brings. There's a link in the chat about how to reach our Network for Good funding platform if you'd like to give now. If you would like to contact us to have a conversation about different ways that you can give, some of them are posted in the slide online right on the screen right now. You could give online, you can send cash or a check. You can do a named award, or you can do a gift. But we're going to go over some of these during the course of our time together. I do just want you to know that we're as good as the partnerships that we build and that we make. And I saw that in a quote by Frank Bosque. And I am more and more convinced that the partnerships that we make through this type of activity, they're scratching that itch. They're helping us get to what we're trying to do, to take action. I think all of us are tired of talking. Let's get something to work. So this is one way that you can contribute to that.
Thanks, Jean. As said before, my name is Colin and I'm a writer for Stardust. And I want to introduce you to, if you haven't seen it already, our new research paper and impact report. Democratizing Impact is the title of this white paper, academic article, because it basically embodies the relationship that we see between donors and the entrepreneurs and projects funded by startups. We've already used a lot of terms like donor advice fund, what it means to be an impact investor. If you want to know more about what those terms mean in the context of Stardust, and if you want to know how, when you become an impact investor, it's a little bit different than donating to a big philanthropic investment fund, then this article could have those answers in it. We're also happy to answer any of those questions on this call today. it is an academic paper, discussing some of these topics that are on the screen. But in essence, it's kind of it's a review of how Stardust is a case study for the small size donor advised fund. And the real rub of this paper is the empirical section done by Camille, in which she reviewed how the microgrant recipients actually use the money that impact investors invest, and what the true impact is of each individual donation. And you know, the proof is in the paper of just how dedicated everyone is, as all 6 of us as a part of this team. It was written by all of us, and what it shows is that Stardust and all of the impact investors are making a global and local impact with each contribution that's very unique to Stardust's small size. So Stardust is really more than a fund or a nonprofit. It's a network, really, and a web between donors and impact investors who wish to do good with the projects and people who are most readily able to make a sustainable impact. Like Jean just said, it's partnerships between people that want to make change and people that are making the change today, so that both can be in harmony and learn from each other and have access to resources. So the paper is found on our website, on our blog, and there will be a link in a follow-up email to this webinar. So I hope you have it. Hope you find it insightful and enjoy reading.
All right, so we have a little bit of time now for some questions and discussion. I worked on the paper and found it so interesting, and I'm really proud of the work that we did, because there's honestly not a lot of information out there before about microgrants, about what Stardust does, because no one else does what Stardust does. So I really hope that you get the chance to read it, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I also wanted to just say how much fun I had with this paper and with the empirical study. At first it was kind of like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? But talking with these impact and entrepreneurs that we have been following for some of them for years, it was just so rewarding to learn about how exactly the microgrant helped them. And sometimes there were a little bit of some surprising results. You know, it's turns out it's not only helpful for making tangible progress, but also in inspiring feelings like trust and confidence and credibility and freedom and relief. And we got some really interesting feedback from that. So please do check out our research paper. We put a lot of heart into it. All of us worked on it. It was a wonderful team effort. So it was a lot of fun.
I do have a question. So about Tigoun, so far, has it been only a local project in Madagascar? Because I was looking at the website and trying to see if they've expanded, because they talk about sub-Saharan Africa, whether they've expanded their scope to reach beyond Madagascar.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think for that, the kind of question will tend to come up a lot with the work that we do, because we support very, very early stage startups and initiatives. And so a lot of the time, these proposals will have an impact that they want to make on a certain region, but they have to start somewhere, right? You've got to start at a specific point. We've seen that with most of the projects that we've funded, because they're a very early stage and we're coming in right at the beginning, and they're doing their pilot project, and then it moves on, and then it expands. And sometimes it stays within the community. Yeah, in Tigoun's case, it was, you know, their aim is really to impact sub-Saharan Africa as a whole. We can see that in that the problem that they're trying to tackle is huge. But at their level right now, they're starting, they're getting funding, they're getting support, and they're beginning in Madagascar, because Enki Barash is the founder, is half French, half Malagasy. So that's where his roots are, and that's where he comes from, and he has family there and friends there and connections there. And so that's really where it's stemming from.
Next up, we're going to be talking about Mindkit, which is another of Stardust's funded projects for 2021. And we're also going to be talking about our new Impact and Innovation badge, which I think is a really cool addition to Stardust's entire slate of things that we do and how we get involved in innovation, not just through the projects we fund, but really all over this space.
Catherine, the founder of Mindkit, is actually with us today. So we love having our microgrant recipients in our events and participating. So we also have Sylvester from Educated Child who's with us. So thank you so much for joining, Sylvester. We're very much mutual supporters. And so we really appreciate you being here. Megan also from Suppli, which you'll learn about later. Mindkit is a nonprofit promoting mental fitness and general well-being by empowering people through activities such as fitness, yoga, meditation, and various stress management workshops. Their focus is on women, young people below the poverty line, people in difficult situations, and people in the LGBTQ plus community. And so their goal is to make these mental fitness activities completely accessible and non-judgmental and end the taboo around the subject of mental health. And the sustainable development goals that they're aiming to reach are good health and well-being, gender equality, and reduced inequalities. The problems that they're tackling are enormous. Mental health is a hugely taboo subject, not only in France, but in many cultures around the world. And access to mental wellness tools such as therapy and yoga and meditation are often limited to clients who can afford them. However, at age 15, girls report poorer mental well-being than boys across almost all countries and regions. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, and questioning youth are more likely to experience depressive symptoms from ages as young as 10. Physical health, physical activity is so important, and many teenagers don't get enough of it each day. Within 10 years, the physically active female population has actually shrunk by 16%. Interestingly, executives are twice as likely than blue-collar workers to declare having had a physical or sporting activity during the past 12 months. So there is a social inequality gap there. Teenagers living in families with low incomes, as well as young people with at least one unemployed parent, are more likely to develop health problems. And stress. France, where this startup and nonprofit is located, is the third European nation where employees feel most stressed at work on a daily basis, behind Germany and Poland. And we all know that mental and physical health are inherently linked. So we found that Mindkit did a great job of linking those and providing a solution. So what is that solution? So Mindkit aims to combine physical activities with emotional and stress management workshops in order to multiply mental wellness benefits. So let's think about this. For example, we could have a 30-minute cardio class ending with a 15-minute meditation. That's a more classic example, but they have been very creative in offering workshops such as a photo language session followed by a yoga class, or a writing workshop followed by deep relaxation and self-affirmations, or another example, stress management session followed by 30 minutes of dance. So thanks to a suggestion during a 2019 focus group aimed at finding new and positive ways to talk about mental health, Mindkit uses the term mental fitness. Just like how we link fitness to physical health, they want to link the term to mental well-being, presenting the subject in an innovative and dynamic way. Because mental health is so taboo, especially in France, people tend to think that therapy can only benefit people suffering from mental illness, when I think a lot of us know that the reality is that therapy is an essential tool in verbalizing everyday emotional discomfort and healing trauma. Since the summer of 2020, Mindkit has been offering free workshops and classes to 3 nonprofits based in Paris right now, Emmaüs, Crips Île-de-France, and Le Refuge. And they are working on renting a physical space. Now, COVID has been really tough on them. The restrictions are going up and down all the time, lockdown, in and out, and So getting a physical space has been difficult, but their aim is really to create this virtuous cycle where Mindkit would offer services to the general public for a fee that would allow them to then pay speakers and teachers and subsidize the Mindkit sessions to their nonprofit partners. Mindkit has the potential for global impact. Their messages, which promoting the true definition of mental health, breaking the stigma around therapy, and making mental fitness activities accessible to all, are needed everywhere. Their format is easily replicable in other cities, but first Mindkit wants to assess their social impact. So they want to know what works and what needs to change. And once this is done, they'll be able to open it in other cities and grow more meaningful nonprofit partnerships. Our $2,000 microgrant is going to instructor salaries, rent for indoor classes, so their physical space, digital marketing, which is always important for a startup, and insurance, which obviously is one of the most basic needs. Catherine let us know that she was very grateful that Stardust supports mental health projects because many organizations don't actually offer that. Here are some pictures, some recent images from their workshops and meetups. And we have a little quote from them on the left there. "Thanks for the kindness and the trust Stardust Startups has shown to us. It has made us confident today more than ever that what we do is important, that we are making a difference. Despite the COVID situation, we keep moving forward, confident that we will keep growing." So that's a super positive note from Catherine there, who's actually here today. So again, during the Q&A session, please feel free, Catherine, to say a few words or give your testimonial. Or
becoming an impact investor and working with mental health solutions is such a huge opportunity right now. And as Camille noted, the COVID times of 20 and going into 2021 have done nothing but really reinforce the importance of mental fitness as well as physical fitness. The impact level at the $1,000 and $2,000 plateaus are very important impact entries for somebody who would like to be a shooting star or a sun within our support network. You would receive an activity and interest survey so that we can know the level and the type of engagement that you would want to be participating in. You'd receive some Stardust gifts from us. We've got some very wonderful mugs and totes and teas that we'd love to share. And you would receive the opportunity, all of the things that you need in order to share with others, to do your own peer-to-peer investment opportunities if you like to do that. We do have scheduled times when Camille and I get together with some of the $1,000, $2,000 investors to have chats with them about what are their goals, what do they want to do. So we really try to build relationships. But beyond having conversations with me and Camille, we like to try to get casual conversation going between the impact investors, the impact entrepreneurs. We try to open doors for our Stardust Entrepreneurial Network. If you are interested in working as a mentor, if you've got just some ideas you want to share in more of a not in the spotlight kind of way, we'd love to work with you to support that. The opportunities that we have right now are so varied. And there are a number of ways that through charitable gift annuity, charitable remainder trust, and charitable lead trust, you can invest in different ways that are at a that could be very, very significant for early stage startups. So please contact us if you're interested. We do have Mike Maloney on the call right now, who is also working with us to answer questions from the perspective of a financial advisor. But that's just really a casual conversation. But we are willing to do what it takes to help you find the answers so that you can find the solution that's right for you.
We are so happy to talk to you guys about the Impact and Innovation badge that we have been working on for, how long has it been?
3 years.
3 years, that we never really had the right moment to kind of announce it and finesse it. And so I think we've got to a point where we really think that it could make a little bit of a difference. So essentially, our badge certifies that a business meets our set of standards for positive social and environmental impact within the areas of sustainability, health, and learning, or learning. It could be all three, it could be just two, any combination. So those are our focus areas, as you know. The entrepreneurs that receive this badge are really going to be able, we hope, benefit from this certification. So not only do they receive the digital badge that they can put anywhere online, and they also have the ability to receive physical decals. So if you're listening and you're one of our microgrant recipients, be sure to not forget about that part. It'll amplify your message and your mission, saying that you are making an impact and you are innovative. It can become part of your branding. It can also attract more clients and customers, which is one of the main things that entrepreneurs need to survive. Interestingly, 88% of consumers want companies to tell them what they're doing to operate responsibly and support important issues, according to a 2015 study. And 86% of millennials think that business success should be measured in terms of more than just financial performance. So just those stats alone can help us understand that social entrepreneurship is booming right now. And one of the best things that you can do for your business is show that you are making a difference in the community, you are changing people's lives, and you're helping the planet. They can also become part of our Stardust Entrepreneurial Network. And the certification is just generally a great way for them to legitimize their business practices and values by way of a second opinion or testimonial from a trustworthy source, that source being us, this organization that has vetted them and has put them through the application process. So let's talk about that, the eligibility for the badge. So impact and innovation, it's a broad term, but the business must show innovation in solving a local and or global problem related to health, sustainability, and or learning, and continuously and transparently follow through with its mission. The business must also have a verified social and or environmental impact on a specific community or cause. They must be ethical and not discriminate. They must strive to reach at least 2 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So like we talked about before, those have been very important in our criteria. And just be committed to making the world a better place. Impact and innovation businesses balance purpose and profit. They strive to make the world a better place by incorporating planet-smart choices in their products and services. And our microgrant recipients receive the badge directly because they're already qualified. However, other social and environmental impact entrepreneurs can apply for it. So we're opening that opportunity up to other entrepreneurs that haven't, that have maybe gone through our proposal process but weren't selected, or others that are simply exterior from the Stardust community and want to join it. They can apply, and the payments, the annual payments, just like a B Corp certification or something like that, would go to Stardust as donations. So this is another way for us to sustain ourselves financially. So we're really excited about this opportunity. So far, our microgrant recipients have been pretty open to the idea, and we're hoping that it opens up even more and that other people will be interested in it.
I'm thinking that maybe we can like talk more about Mindkit. I think that what they do is so interesting and probably been really tough with COVID. I mean, especially when so much mental health work and mental fitness is kind of an interpersonal thing. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Hi guys.
Hi, Catherine.
Well, if nobody has questions, but hi, Jean. I just obviously wanted to take this time to thank you once again for your help and your confidence in Mindkit. Obviously, it's been a rough time because of lockdown again in France. We've been trying really, really hard to outreach of the public that we're helping, and we're starting once again to providing all the workshops. It just literally started last week, so we are very, very pleased that it's getting started once again. I just wanted to thank you guys and obviously the investors, and just to say how important these grants represents to us, honestly, especially for tiny nonprofits like us. So we really hope that we'll keep growing more and more, and take the opportunity to also thank obviously people who helped me to provide all the workshops. Yuslin is with us as well, following from home. So thank you so much. So recently we have started again with Emmaus. So we are providing yoga meditation classes to women who are homeless. And we just started also providing writing workshops. And it's been such an amazing experience of just seeing them, first of all, with yoga, for example, being aware of their bodies and finding the calmness that maybe they cannot find by themselves because of their life situation. And the same goes with the writing workshops as well. It's such a really a wonderful experience, and I feel really lucky to be able to be there and to talk to them and make sure that they are getting that special moment that is not, it doesn't happen every day, but we try as much as we can to be present for them, with them. So yeah, it's been a very, I think, rewarding experience, and also with the LGBTQI youth people. We've been providing stress management and emotional workshops management. We have received a lot of positive feedback as well. And we hope, because at the moment everything's kind of imposed, but we hope that we'll be able to start over again in June, fingers crossed.
Yes, things are going to be, starting to open back up in June for us in France, and that's very exciting. Thank you so much for that testimonial, Catherine. It really means a lot.
And I believe we have one question right now in the chat. So Sylvester is wondering, what is the process of being a mentor to startups through your organization? So I'm going to leave the floor open now to Jean and Camille to expand on that.
As part of our Stardust Entrepreneurial Network, we will give you a survey to complete so that we can better understand the level of engagement that you're interested in and your particular expertise that you would like to share. We would love to open that up to the broader community who's participating. So we'll make sure that that link is shared if you're interested, because growing our partnerships means expanding that type of non-financial but equally valuable capital that we can all bring as sort of our social capital.
Coming up, we're going to be talking about supply and also a little information about our gift card opportunity, which I think is really cool, and then some more discussion about that coming up soon. So I'm going to pass it to Camille to talk about supply.
Supply partners with restaurants and food shops to provide an eco-friendly takeout container service without a huge markup in price. So food vendors are getting like an attractive, high quality option for eco-friendly takeout containers that don't break the bank, and consumers get equally high quality containers and an opportunity to enjoy their takeout without feeling guilty about the amount of waste it produces. Megan, who is Supply's founder, who's here today, aims to help consumers fully live their values and support businesses in operating more sustainably. So the UN Sustainable Development Goals that Supply is aiming to tackle are sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, and climate action. And she is based in Toronto, Canada. Very, very global problem that we're all facing: waste. More than half of US and Canadian consumers order delivery or takeout at least once a week, which is a lot. Single-use takeout containers contribute to an enormous amount of waste. So think materials like styrofoam, plastic bags and boxes, to-go cups, straws, cutlery, and even those that are dubbed recyclable or eco-friendly usually aren't as green as we think they are, or as they aspire to be. Many food vendors are trying to shift to eco-friendly containers, but they're expensive and not well suited for all types of foods, like hot foods and hot soups and things like that. A lot of takeout packaging isn't recyclable, so things like black plastic, dirty pizza boxes, and cardboard that's lined with plastic. Currently, 9% of plastic packaging in Canada is recycled, which is nothing. And single-use food and beverage packaging is one of the largest sources of plastic pollution in the oceans, unfortunately. In Toronto and many other cities, waste management programs often aren't equipped to distinguish between recyclable and non-recyclable bioplastics, aka biodegradable packaging. So they just end up going in the garbage. And from the consumer point of view, shops just give out disposable packaging without asking and don't provide you with reusable options, which can be frustrating. In a recent study, more than 70% of Torontonians said they are very likely or somewhat likely to use a reusable option instead of a disposable one when given the choice. And I'm sure that you would too. For the past 4 years, Megan has been working, interestingly, with pre-seed startups, tackling social challenges. And now she's applying her experience to her own impact venture, which is exciting. She loves the convenience and variety of takeout food, but she cannot stand the amount of waste it involves. Suppli rents stainless steel takeout containers to participating food vendors, restaurants, food shops, caterers, and then consumers will create a free account with Suppli, request the containers when placing orders. So then the restaurant will then package the takeout order in those, stainless steel containers. And then consumers drop their rinse containers off at local drop-off points, and Suppli will pick them up and sanitize them so they're ready to be redeployed. Suppli has an innovative business model. They provide reasonable prices to food vendors that don't gouge already tight margins and offer consumers a pay per order model. So it's 99 cents per order, as opposed to the more common subscription deposit models. Suppli also stands out for its use of non-plastic containers. They also have a partnership with a professional cleaner that looks after all the cleaning and sanitization of the containers. So the containers themselves are comprised of stainless steel bases and silicone lids, and they will be 100% recycled or downcycled at the end of their lives. So to inform her decision on using these materials, Megan sent out a survey that went to over 100 people living and working in Toronto, and about 90% of them did not have a strong opposition to the use of stainless steel containers, while a number of them even actually applauded the metal material as an oven-safe way to heat up food without the use of microwaves, and also the food remains hot. So as of today, Suppli has launched its minimum viable product in 19 restaurants and has a growing list of partners lined up. They're focused on building out a strong network of restaurants and drop-off points in the east end of Toronto before expanding further. In the future, Megan aims to grow Suppli to a Toronto-wide service over the next year and then to other urban centers across the country and continent. So this is definitely a scalable project. So our $2,000 grant will go towards marketing to grow both Suppli's restaurant and consumer base. We all know that marketing is hugely, hugely important for early stage startups. Megan is single-handedly positively impacting Toronto's food industry, and we're thrilled to be able to support her. So those are the containers. And here are some photos from partner restaurants and her unique steel containers. Suppli's Facebook and Instagram are regularly being updated in a super fun way, showing impact by number of orders placed and the growing community and facts about the food industry and the waste it produces. So definitely check those out.
I met Megan through a course we were taking together in Venture Deals over the course of the summer. And she was coming in as somebody working with startups, and we got into this conversation. And it's very beautiful. I'm so thrilled that that she is in the Stardust community now. Thinking about the level of the venture capitals and the deals and everything that I sort of kind of got an introduction to, but I can't say I really learned from that summer course. I know that I'm not sure I ever would be ready to work on a capitalization spreadsheet, but I do know that the seed level funding, the A and the B level funding, all of those are they're for businesses that have got their feet on the ground, that are really like anchored in every way and ready to go and move quickly. And it made me appreciate even more the early stage support and the pollinization or the pollinization stage that we really help the companies grow. As far as becoming an impact investor for a company like Suppli or any of our other ones that we're showcasing, the degree to which you as a partner want to play a role can make a difference. The partnerships are about the relationship building. And as far as the type of giving you may or may not be able to do at this point, if you wanted to fund the whole project portfolio for this go round, for instance, you could come into Stardust World at the Constellation or Star Cluster level, where we really give you the opportunity to play a part in contributing to the annual strategy and implementation plan, helping us figure the different ways that we want to work toward those sustainable development goals. So it's like with every level, there's a little bit more of an opportunity for participation as a partner in different ways, but no obligation to do so. So I wanted to be clear on that. And I also just wanted to make sure that as far as the ability to deal with some of these big challenges, oh my gosh, I think plastic is getting a ton of attention. And the more that we see how the projects, they're directed towards something like environmental sustainability, but they're tied to health, they're tied to our improving our communities. And so the degree to which you're an impact investor is so much more of an impact than just the money that you have to share. Speaking of the money you have to share, I want to talk with you about a new way that we're offering for you to be involved. Stardust in 2020, we were experimenting with a whole lot of things, and we decided, you know, we want to start offering a gift card, because I think it's really, it's so encouraging and so special to find ways to create new traditions with friends and family. And a gift card from Stardust could be a way to inspire philanthropy in others. You know, it just works. And it doesn't matter what level you would be talking about. Now, we do have a $30 minimum for a gift card, but we don't have a ceiling at the top. But this is a way that the card recipients, so I as the mom on Mother's Day, waiting for my gift from my family, get a Stardust gift card. And then I have the ability to go, do I want to use this on a health project, a sustainability project, a learning project? Do I want to give it to Stardust for operational funds? Or do I just want to say, hey, this is unrestricted, do what you will? So whether it's a holiday or a birthday or some special time that you want to recognize, you can do a gift card to provide that support. And with each gift card that you would want to give, Stardust will provide a personalized message, and we'll get it out there. And we won't be sending a plastic card. Okay, no more plastic. We'll send a digital version of it, and then that can be shared. We've got a lot of opportunities for you to take advantage of, but this gift card could be a really unique way to start giving people something that really matters about their world and their future.
Yeah, so two things. That first, like, thank you to the Stardust team. I know this is a huge lift to put together, yeah, we've been engaged since early on. So it's really nice to be kind of back online with everyone and all the team members here. I love the Stardust approach to being able to support within a few mission aligned buckets, but then be able to support organizations that look and feel very different. So everywhere from nonprofits to for-profits, but that are all working towards the same goal. I think it's really important. I love the innovative approach to tackling challenges through different models, whether it be sustainability through a nonprofit model or for-profit. So I'm so glad that you approach things that way. And then secondly, obviously the support has been really, really amazing from your team at Stardust. For us, really early stage, testing out some of these pieces that, especially around the marketing, and to be able to demonstrate traction so that we're able to go on to get investor dollars and scale is really important. And just a quick update, we're now over 1,500 subscribers, account holders. We are with 19 restaurants and have a growing backlog. We've processed over 1,300 orders in our first 6 months, which is, probably close to 4,000 single-use containers we've averted from landfills. It's been because we've had support from organizations like Stardust. So, we just got coverage today in a national publication. So my email is blowing up with a bunch of more signups, which is great. And so I just wanted to reiterate a thank you to Stardust and the whole team for your support. I brought on a co-founder. She's amazing. She looks after all of our marketing. So all the fun Instagram stuff that Camille was referring to is someone that has a great disposition about her to be able to do manage all the social media and everything.
Have you noticed that the social media presence has been getting you more orders and subscriptions or signups and things like that, or?
Yeah, I think signups for sure. I think we're in the process of trying to figure out how to quantify some of the marketing and advertising pieces in terms of conversion to not just signups, but also orders. I think it has been huge though for signups. And I think it does help when we post certain things on like a Friday or a Saturday when people are more likely to order that we do get quite a bit of volume now.
Right. And I think also the posts that are informative about the waste and about the food industry and all of that are very much shareable.
It is a very helpful medium for us, especially to engage with our customers where, we position our brand as much more of a personalized friendship with our customers as opposed to just sort of a medium to transact through. So I think it definitely helps in that area too.
Next is a really cool project called Renaissance Upcycling. And we're also going to talk about our monthly newsletter, the Constellation.
Renaissance Upcycling is a smartphone app and community that enables people to transform or upcycle their pre-owned clothing, which offers an alternative to just buying new pieces and contributing to the massive waste and pollution produced by the fast fashion industry. We have 6 of the Sustainable Development Goals here: gender equality, responsible consumption and production, both of those everything having to do with the fashion industry, basically climate action, life below water, life on land, and decent work and economic growth. Fast fashion, which, as you may know, is the creation and marketing of cheap garments appealing to short-lived trends. Fast fashion is clearly socially and environmentally unsustainable and unstable. It is one of the world's greatest polluters, emitting more greenhouse gases than the maritime and aviation industries combined. So emitting things like synthetic chemicals, pollutants that are released from different materials, the worldwide shipping that often companies offer. In 2015, the fashion industry used 79 billion cubic meters of water. That's huge. And millions of tons of textile waste end up in landfills each year. So just like plastic, single-use textile. I mean, it really is something that we need to be more aware of. Each year, the fashion industry produces more than 100 billion clothing items for 7 billion people. There's already enough textile in the world to dress the next 5 generations without producing more. Also, unfortunately, while up to 95% of what ends up in landfills could be recycled, less than 1% of clothing is actually recycled into new clothing. How can we recycle? How can we find a solution for this? So Renaissance Upcycling has developed a smartphone app that enables the users, like I said, to transform or upcycle their pre-owned clothing. So the app will offer various patterns through which to transform. So let's say you have a pair of pants that you really don't wear anymore or that have a few holes. You can choose from different patterns within the app and the website to transform your pants into something new. The body scan technology within the app will obtain 3D measurements of the user in just 2 photos, and that's still being developed, but that's an interesting, innovative side of this project. Local tailors will receive a technical sheet that's guiding them in the transformation. So with the 3D measurements of the user and the pattern, and a few days later, the unique and tailor-made clothing item is available for pickup. For the user, upcycling is a happy medium between ethical shopping, sustainable shopping, which can often be very expensive, and thrift shopping, where it's difficult to find the right size, there's outdated pieces, they may be stains and things like that. And Caroline's idea is that the technology should be used to be extremely precise in order to serve a diverse range of bodies. So that's why she was also developing that body scan technology. She wants to demonstrate that made to measure is worthwhile compared to ready to wear. She aims to promote a new image of fashion, one that adapts to bodies and tastes instead of setting standards. So not only is there this environmental side to this, but there's also a moral side. For local tailors, the app generates rewarding work, bringing them new orders while taking care of customer relations and logistics. So the app in the community of Renaissance Upcycling also becomes a professional network for tailors and couturiers, providing them the freedom to remain independent and the comfort of being part of a supportive and dynamic community. This startup definitely has the potential for global impact. The app is starting from a Parisian customer base where there actually are a lot of tailors and couturiers. It's Paris, but this could easily expand to all major cities. There's tailors everywhere and we need to support them. The key is finding them and having them be local and being tech friendly. So our $2,000 microgrant is going towards the initial app development. And so that's still being done today. I know they recently just made public their website, but the app is still in development. Caroline is a recent business school graduate, so many of the contests and prizes she's won come from the university sector. But really, it's all taking off. She recently did a TED Talk actually in Paris, and she said she would send us the link. So I'm really excited to see that, and hopefully there's English subtitles for all our English speakers. And here are some photos that she uses for her website and things to show just the upcycling process, what it's like using the tech, using the computer, but also using very basic techniques, sewing and things that have worked for centuries.
In addition to being a direct impact investor with your funds and the financial support that you can provide, we are really taking 2021 as a time to seriously build relationships with accelerator and incubator communities out there. If you, as an impact investor, can help connect us to an incubator accelerator, that would be delightful. As Camille mentioned, Caroline is working through a business school academic environment. A number of our early stage startups have found us through incubator accelerator hubs. We would like to expand and grow those. Right now, we are nurturing and developing some relationships in North America with the Dobson Center at McGill University in Montreal and with the Lewis Institute at Babson College. But I do want to acknowledge Megan's role in helping bring forward an idea about becoming a pipeline to an accelerator, where we can really work to help nurture and then move on the success of some of these early stage startups. In addition to the accelerator and incubator work, we are also trying to develop other ways outside of university systems to find those entrepreneurs that we want to fund and to grow some exposure for them as well. So an impact investor can also be helping us really locate and nurture some relationships with emerging entrepreneurs. So if you want to play a role in that respect as well, please feel free to reach out and contact us about that.
Each time that I learn more about what Stardust is doing, I feel more connected to its these projects. I was just noting that my favorite word, which I just learned from Camille, is couturier. Couturier. This is like another example of maybe I'm like my Philistine, like, I don't know fashion, but couturier is just like, so. We try to, as a writer, I work with Camille and Safana and any other of the people who contribute to the Stardust blog to try to deliver every single month. We all get too many newsletters as it is, so we try to make sure that every month you get something in your email box that you actually like want to open. They're not just like interviews with micro grant recipients, though those do exist, but we try to twist it so that there's something that you as the email recipient actually learn from the Stardust microgrant. Not just see your impact, but also take something so that you can, I don't know, maybe grow a business of your own, or help somebody in your local community, or just in general feel better about how you connect to your world. There's dozens of articles that come from all over the world. Some of the catalogs obviously include places like the United States, but other stories like Zimbabwe and France, and even just a few months ago, I wrote an article about hunting for fungi in Ireland, which is where I live. The nice part about writing for Stardust is the fact that you can do so with very little creative restrictions, which plays to our writers' advantage. And at least in this article that I'm speaking about, like I really care about the spiritual connection to sustainability, so that people stop seeing themselves apart from nature, but see themselves as a part of nature. So I try to bring those types of articles to the Constellation, and I hope that you are enjoying them, or that you can go to our blog and read about past ones. We have focus areas, impact, entrepreneurship, mental and physical health, environmental sustainability, and learning. So all of these topics typically pertain to one or more of those core fundamental values of what the Stardust mission is. I just encourage you to check out the catalog, and if you're not already signed up for the Constellation newsletter, you would benefit from doing so. It's really the best way, I think, to connect with the Stardust global and local impact. And, I really hope that if you like the writing that you get on our blog, that you share it with your friends and family, so that they can see why you're supporting an initiative like Stardust. So thanks.
I just wanted to follow up on Colin's comments about the Constellation, because I do think that in addition to just providing some of the information about the micro grants, we really try to grow the community, and we do highlight what those in our group share about. I know recently we posted some information about an interview with a Stardust supporter who was wanting to talk about how she made a decision to be an impact investor with Stardust. So it's a very hopefully engaging and fun opportunity, but it really is a chance for us just to stay in touch, because this is not meant to be a one-way giving of stuff. We love to receive. So if you have ideas or something that you want to share, please bring them to us. Let us know.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for saying that. I would definitely love to know and to hear more about what readers want to read about.
I think that Renaissance is really cool. I mean, as someone that buys clothes, wears clothes, it's important, and especially the fit technology that they're working on. I think that's so cool. This is kind of, you'd think it's not a regression, it's a moving forward using lessons that we've learned from, hundreds of years of sewing things. And so that's really cool.
Seriously, it's fascinating how industries will evolve, and I think so interesting, and I'm so grateful to be a part of that evolution in the smallest ways, but in ways that are so impactful, and helping these small entrepreneurs be part of that evolution is so rewarding.
I wish that the founder was here to speak to us, but I certainly am more interested now that I've heard about that. I did notice that when you said that textile waste is such a big, I had no idea that that was a part of waste streams. And at the same time, it also makes me wonder if that information came before many of us are trying to protect ourselves with textile masks. Like even just the other day, I picked up there's dozens of textile masks like all over the place that people, just fall out of people's pockets or something as they're walking. So,
and the takeout, we were talking about supply, and we're going to talk about Dabba later. Same with takeout. I mean, it's just during COVID, so much more. It goes so fast that some of these wasteful things that it produces, we're not able to keep up with them. I think they're like, as far as the masks, I have I have textile masks that are reusable, but then what am I gonna do with those after? I might still wear it once in a while when I have a cold, but it's still something that will eventually end up in a landfill. So it's something to think about, definitely.
Yeah, and you're right. There's probably an article there that should be written, but I know in Ireland, for instance, those types of reusable containers are prohibited. So you can't even take your mug into to a local coffee shop to get a refill.
Really?
You have to use one of their carton ones because they look at it as a point of contamination. So it's the type of actions that's made with the best intentions, but in the long run could have maybe different outcomes if it's not addressed. But
actually in France, the government is going to be moving towards a law for restaurants where they can only offer reusable containers, and they're not allowed to do the and I think Canada also has some laws about that.
We're going to be talking about Dabba coming up, and we're also going to talk about some creative ways to give to Stardust.
Dabba Consigne is a community of restaurants and professionals striving to end the huge amount of waste produced as a result of disposable takeout containers. Co-founders Marion and Caroline are using Dabba, this reusable takeout container service, as a way to support local actors in their sustainable consumption and waste reduction journeys. So the SDGs are sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, and climate action. And Dabba is based in Grenoble, France, which is actually near where I live, which is the central southeast. Just like I outlined in Suppli's presentation, the waste associated with the takeout industry is huge. In France in 2018, 160 million meals were delivered, and the delivery takeout service market grew by 20%, and that was in 2018. So imagine 2020. 180,000 tons of takeout packaging are thrown out each year in France. These kinds of packaging are not all recyclable, and when they are, they're not always separated from other trash by consumers and also by recycling centers, as we saw. Takeout waste also often contributes to littering, as public garbage bins tend to overflow. I see this everywhere in my city, definitely. So what is the solution that Dabba is offering? So restaurants get delivered Dabba's glass containers. So this is one of the main differences with Supply, that they're made of glass. And so they're restocked regularly within the restaurants. Dabba collects and washes the dirty containers that are brought back by the customers and brings them back to the restaurants. From the customer point of view, they can order meals from any restaurant in the Dabba network. The meal comes in the reusable glass container, and then they bring the container back to the restaurant, any restaurant in the network, in exchange for a new meal or a token, which is kind of like their deposit. They have a deposit system. They invoice each meal served in the container. Their unit prices are consistent with single-use packaging. So today, which is between 15 cents and 55 cents, depending on the material. The deposits paid by the consumers are an integral part of their economic model. So the first time that someone orders a meal in the Dabba container, they will pay a deposit that can be reversed whenever they wish. But on average, only 6% of the consumers actually do wish to be reimbursed. This system that they've created and this community is filling a huge gap in the current market in France. I've definitely never heard of anything like that around here, and I'd love to be offered it. So this is wonderful. If you're wondering where the name comes from, it's really cool. It actually means lunchbox in Hindi. Dabba Wallace is a widespread lunchbox delivery and return system that delivers hot lunches from homes and restaurants to working people in India, especially in Mumbai. The lunchboxes are picked up in the late morning, delivered predominantly using bicycles and trains, and returned empty in the afternoon. So they were inspired by that for their name. As of today, I believe there are 21 restaurants in the Dabba network. For now, they're all based in Grenoble, but Marion and Caroline plan to expand to the entire Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region, which is the bigger southeastern region, starting with Maïs-et-Lyon, Chambéry, Annecy, and Saint-Étienne, which are other cities around there. They're also developing a scalable mobile app using open source technology that will make the system easier for professionals and consumers. Dabba Consigne clearly has the potential for global impact. In 2022, so this is like I said earlier, and it's coming now in my notes, but in 2022, according to French law, the entire restaurant industry will have to use reusable boxes to deliver food to customers. This is huge. This type of regulation is happening in countries all around the world, and Dabba is tapping into this market early on by providing reusable dishes, washing them, and creating their own network. So our $2,000 grant will help them get hundreds of new reusable containers to keep up with the expansion to new restaurants. So they're currently supported by so many different organizations, incubators, accelerators, and they've won a few different prizes. They have already a large support base, and we're super thrilled to be part of that support base right in the early stage of their company. Here are some other pictures of them at their partner restaurants. And on the right, that's the two founders with their little bicycle courier device.
So I'm distracted by the good food. I am, I could call out. I would love to order out right now. But you know, the ways that we can make impact, just there's so many, but being an impact investor with the Stardust community is a way that you can have a say, a way that you can work towards saving the planet, and a way that we can, in a small way, change the world. So our call to you today is to help spread the information about Stardust and the work we do and the types of projects that we fund. So as our funding and outreach team, I'm sure, is tired of hearing me say, it's about raising awareness. If people don't know about you, they can't do anything for you. 80% of success is being there. So help us spread the opportunity for making an impact. That would be huge. And we thank you so much. But I want you to think about that story with the starfish. We're not able to change everything all at once. The kid who got to the beach and tossed back one starfish wasn't changing everything all at once, but one at a time, you make a difference.
That was really beautiful. So now just to transition into different creative ways to give. So there's actually many creative and simple ways that you can donate to Stardust startups. And for example, just by simply using Amazon Smile and selecting Stardust as your nonprofit of choice, Amazon will actually donate 0.5% of your purchase, and it comes at no extra cost to you. So you simply need to type smile.amazon.com into your browser to access Amazon, the Amazon Smile link, and then look up Stardust in the search bar. And then you just proceed to shop on Amazon as you typically would. You must specifically be using the link smile.amazon.com every time you shop in order for Stardust to receive a donation. And I just want to reiterate that using Amazon Smile comes at no extra cost to you. So the price that you pay for your items remains the same. Another simple way to donate to Stardust is through creating a fundraiser on Facebook. And you can create these fundraisers for any occasion, for example, even on your birthday. And then you can just ask your family, your friends, and colleagues to demonstrate their support by donating directly to your fundraiser. And I just want to let you know that 100% of the money will be transferred to Stardust. And in fact, I had the unique opportunity to conduct my own Stardust fundraiser last month for my birthday. And I found the process very intuitive to use. So I simply went on the fundraiser icon on Facebook and I created the event to celebrate my birthday. And I set a specific goal amount and the end date that I wanted to do the fundraiser for. And I was actually really fortunate to raise $418. And I highly encourage you all to consider crowdsourcing and using Facebook fundraising to demonstrate your support for Stardust's mission. And another very easy way to donate is directly through the Network for Good online giving platform that provides donors control over the amount and where their donations are specifically being sent to. And it's very simple to use. So additionally, our Network for Good platform empowers you really to fundraise online on behalf of Stardust through peer-to-peer campaigns. So I've additionally also attached the link in the chat. And the last way you can donate here is through purchasing Stardust apparel through Bonfire. So we have a variety of beautiful different merchandise to choose from, including sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts. So, and again, I have attached the link to Bonfire in the chat for those of you who are interested in purchasing apparel and demonstrating your support for Stardust.
You know, one thing that I would like to mention about the Network for Good as a peer-to-peer campaign, there are a number of people these days who are stepping away from a lot of the social media that they might have been using at one point in time. So you don't have to make a commitment to use a platform such as Facebook. You can do the same kind of thing, but a little more on your own. So you could create a campaign, you can get a link, you can share it via email with friends and family and do it that way rather than straight through a social media platform.
I really like the Bonfire apparel. I have a shirt and it's like, this is kind of weird, but my friend is a really big fan of Taylor Swift. And she's like, I hate Taylor Swift's merchandise. It's ugly. She's, if it was cute, I'd buy it. And I have to say the Stardust merchandise, way better than Taylor Swift's. And it's also going to a good cause. And so it's beautiful. And I think Camille did some of the designs and I really like it. So
thank you. I appreciate that. They were super fun to make. And I think the what they say on the what the t-shirts say is really at the core of what we do. The one I love the most, I love both of them, but the one I love the most is the big words, and I have the sweatshirt that I wear like every day, but it says purpose, passion, and positivity. And that's really, that just sums up how we do things at Stardust. And so it really feels good to wear it. And then the other one is,
the next big thing will be a lot of small things.
thank you.
Yes.
yeah, I have that one. I really like that one.
That's my favorite.
And that one, yeah, it also sums up kind of what Jean was saying earlier about they are modest solutions. They are, one step at a time, and the starfish story. It really is, it's all of that.
And I wanted to bring up one of the points that Megan mentioned when she was speaking about the working with for-profits and nonprofits, that having that type of, it doesn't matter if you have an idea and you're bringing it forward, we're working with it. And it's that the small ideas they intersect. In many ways, nonprofits are, they're out there that you can make directly to a nonprofit. Why would you go through Stardust? But speaking about the work that Camille does, check out our website. Go to the projects page. Look at the degree to which the projects that we fund get a website. They're on our social media. We're sharing it all over the place. And it's that extra, it's more than just a financial contribution that groups get from us. They get some business mentoring support if they want it. They can, and it's a matter of what do you want, to what degree do you want to be engaged? And we offer that to the impact entrepreneurs as well as the impact investors.
This is Kirk Talbot just calling in. Can you guys see me or hear me or anything?
Hi, Kirk.
Hi, I'm just, I've got to sign off in a few minutes. I've been listening in. Yvette too has been listening into most of this. We just want to say congratulations and keep up the great work. It's inspiring. It's fun. You guys have passion, and it's, I think it's a little crazy. I think you're doing so much. As I told you, Jean, before, you're doing so many different things, but you know what? It seems to work. You're having fun, you're experimenting, you're being open, you're being creative in the pandemic paradox of positivity. So I'm sitting back to just watch with Yvette and amazement at what you guys are doing, and thinking about getting our checkbooks out again. So just keep it up.
Thank you so much for your support. We so appreciate it. Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah, and thank you, Yvette, as well. Before people start leaving, and I do want to thank everyone for taking time on Friday to be with us. I want to get to this last slide about the way that we are at this intersection of entrepreneurial support organization and donor advised fund. And I want to do it a little differently. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I don't know how many people can see my little book here. And I made the team laugh earlier because I, of course, have a grammar book I needed to pull out. And the title of this grammar book is Eats, Shoots, and Leaves. And it's the story about a panda walks into a bar. And depending on where you put the comma, you can have a very different interpretation of what the panda did in the bar. As a donor advised fund, we have a number of different ways that we interpret this, and it depends on the people with whom we're working and the way that we're having the conversation, because we can be giving advice as well as receiving advice from the donor. See, to me, coming in to this world from a very not of this world perspective about 5.5 years ago, the first time I heard donor advised fund, I thought, well, my God, if I were a donor, I would need somebody to tell me what to do to make a difference. Where's the group I make a donation to? How would I find them? How would I do my homework? Because see, I'm an educator more than anything else. And so I would obviously want to know, how would I do the research? Who has time? Well, one of the wonderful things that Stardust can do is that we are able to identify, work with, and vet, and then bring forward to a donor, a partner out there, a potential project to fund. So we can give advice. We can be that trusted source for projects. And in the same way, we're receiving advice, because the people who make donations, the partners that we have out there, can let us know how they would like their funding to be used. So it's a beautiful way of doing both of those things. And I believe that working with early stage impact entrepreneurs is a way that we can help them achieve, everybody to achieve progress toward the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We've got climate change issues that haven't gone away. And though the situation with COVID might be kind of sort of normalizing, I mean, I'm crossing my fingers that we're all going to be wondering what we do with our mask at some point in the future. I've got a few ideas, but we'll talk about them offline. But my gosh, we've got some issues. We've got some issues we're facing, and we need the agility and the flexibility of entrepreneurs to help us move forward. Impact investors can find projects that are aligned with their values by going through Stardust. And like I said, good grief, this is so much more than financial capital we're talking about. So that's my kind of closing 2 cents on the Stardust side, but we do have some time. We've got some of our past recipients on. Sylvester, I'm so happy to have you join us from Lagos, Nigeria. We're thrilled to have that connection maintained.
If you want to set up another time to chat with Jean and Camille about something, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you, especially with ideas about giving or wanting to get more involved with Stardust, becoming a mentor, things like that. We just really want to be in touch with people. And I think that what makes Stardust special is the community that Jean and Camille have really built up over the past 5 years. Just everything it's really coming together, and we're really proud to be showing what we've accomplished through everyone's support.
I'm realizing I forgot to reinforce one very important thing, that those micro grants are recoverable. And I don't know if we use that language enough during the session, but the fact that we have had now some of the recipients paying back the grants so that it becomes a sustaining kind of thing. It's so beautiful to watch that, because it really does come full circle, because we get the money back and then we're able to re-give it, and that's just been delightful. I am thrilled to have had everybody from so many different places join us. This was great.
But I also know we've had everyone for a long time, so you can feel free to sign off whenever you want. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday afternoon and weekend, and hopefully the general theme everywhere is that it's going to get warmer and nicer.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing I would like to also ask is that if anybody has ideas about how we can better reach more people, spread the word, I really would like that. I'd like us to figure out some sort of place where folks could go in and enter information, Camille. I think that would be a kind of really neat thing, just to kind of have open, suggestions.
Yeah, always. And I loved Colin's idea about, or I forgot whose idea was it, but about our community also giving us ideas for newsletters and blogs and things that they want to see us research and write about. I mean, heck, we wrote a research paper in about 2 months, and that all stemmed from, actually it was Colin's idea though, so thank you, Colin, for that. But we are ready for more, and we want to research more, and we want to give you guys information, as well as providing a service. Providing micro grants for entrepreneurs, but we believe in the holistic aspect of everything that we do, making change happen, making a difference. So doing that with the help of the community, getting your guys' advice and suggestions, spreading information and awareness is also, so important to us.
Yeah, and Ted and Fran are still on. I think that the role that the board of directors plays is such an important one, as far as just the acquisition of funds, the release of funds from the organization. But it takes everybody. It's not just one part of any of this that makes it work. And so as we're able to broaden and grow our group, we appreciate it.
Yes, I wanted to acknowledge and say thank you very much for the sweet comments that are coming in. Very inspiring, encouraging to see young people engage and take on big problems with creative solutions. Woot woot. Thanks for all the energy and enthusiasm. Have an awesome weekend. Thank you very much, Ted. And as well, thank you very much, Kim, for great presentation. Very interesting. Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you guys all here. Many thanks. And thank you for very sweet comments.
Great job. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Claudia, love to you in
Bye.
Colorado.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.